Yes, it started off on pay, and that's what we're taking strike action on now. But we have got a massive mandate on change as well. So there will be more industrial action if those proposals don't change. I'd just ask people to understand this. So we are a democratic organisation. We balloted our members. In excess of 86,000 people voted, and we had 2 yes votes. One was 97.6%, one was 98.7%, 1.3% short of 100% of people voting with their union, despite the company spending fortunes on propaganda. So you know your postal worker, you just said your brother's one. These are decent people. They don't vote like that unless there's something seriously wrong in the organisation that they work for. And I'd ask people just to bear that in mind.
And Terry, can you just clarify for our viewers and listeners, is the union's position, look, we don't want any change at all, we don't want any negotiations, we're not prepared to entertain any talks over changes, or is the position, look, give us a pay increase for what we're doing now, and then if you want to have a further discussion about changes, then we're happy to get into that?
No, I welcome your point. I mean, you would know from your brother, but obviously the viewers don't all know. We constantly embrace change. Everyone knows their postal services have changed over the years. We used to do 2 deliveries. We used to be out on the street at 6:30 in the morning. Now it's 1 delivery, etc. Now we deliver later in the day. We got people who work 7 days. The narrative is nonsense. It just suits their position to paint the union that way. At the end of 2020, the start of 2021. The company was predicting losses of between £500 and £600 million. We made an agreement called the Pathway to Change Agreement, mutual interest agreement, taking things forward. We deployed that during the pandemic, revision activity. We deployed more change than we've ever done in that period of time in our history. We deployed more automation than we've done at any time in our history in that short period of time. The company was praising us in their financial reports because it was a £1 billion turnaround. Then all overnight, every postal worker has grown 2 heads and won't accept change. It's just absolute nonsense. Our history is riddled with the changes and the way we want to reinvent Royal Mail. We had a policy forum in March when the company had disengaged of how we continue to take this Pathway to Change agreement forward, working 7 days, etc. More people doing 3 and 4 day weeks, covering 7 days, lots of things. A 91-page document of ideas of new products and services that build upon the USO but protect it. So build upon that universal service, which is enshrined in statute, by the way. So only the government can change that. And when it was privatised, these people had a responsibility to look after it. We were privatised as a group. We've got a European international parcel company called GLS. They've now totally detached any cross-subsidy and they're looking at selling that off. This is a corporate raid. Please, I ask everyone, just really give some due consideration here because we will see the end of this great postal service as we know it. And I think the United Kingdom will be less because of that. And people who live in them outlying areas. Next Wednesday, I'm going to Northern Ireland next Wednesday, actually. I'm going to speak to members over in there in Northern Ireland because I know, I've heard the company. Things like delivering to Northern Ireland are extremely costly. That's why you need a universal service. Otherwise, the prices would go through the roof for people in Northern Ireland, for people in Cornwall, for any outlying areas, Scotland, Wales, etc. It can't all be about city centres, and that's why this great public service needs protecting. There's enough researchers, there's enough intelligence out there. People should see this for what it is and really think about why would postal workers, the people you know by name that have served you well, that you applauded and were leaving presents out in the streets for our members and everything else during the pandemic, why would they suddenly turn into these strange people that want to bring down society? It's absolute nonsense. This is a genuine dispute. We're not just fighting for ourselves here. We're fighting for this great public service, which is still relevant and over 500 years old. And the United Kingdom should be so proud of this postal service and do everything they can to protect it. We are reasonable people. We've made endless agreements. Of course, now that we've got 2 disputes, we understand they may well be resolved, but they'll have to be resolved simultaneously now. But as it goes forward, we are actually seeing what's going on with this postal service. And there's huge rumours out there at the moment about a massive takeover from shareholders. We've been in talks with management who have told us the rules of this company's existence now is to serve shareholders. Our members are at the bottom of the list, closely followed by the public. Please wake up and understand this is a genuine dispute and one we are extremely serious about.